Let's turn the conversation back to China, where Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is asking what we all are in his opening remarks to the Senate yesterday. The administration has still not been able to divulge any meaningful information about what was shot down, what in the world is going on, all while touting the transparency into what is infiltrating the U.S. airspace. So we're going to bring in New York Congresswoman and member of the House Foreign Affairs and Small Business Committees, Claudia Tenney. Thank you so much for being here. Congresswoman, I pose the same question to you. What in the world is going on here?
Yeah, this is actually troubling because we don't really know if these were spy balloons. Were they weather balloons? We used an F-22 to go shoot down what could be a weather balloon. But nonetheless, the Biden administration, the foreign policy, the military reaction has been less than ideal, considering China was able to fly this balloon all the way across Alaska, the Aleutian Islands, into Montana, and all the way to South Carolina, collecting surveillance data before we did anything about it, because they've made a lot of excuses. They've said a lot of Democrats say, oh, the Chinese are embarrassed. The U.S. should be embarrassed because Joe Biden is president of the United States and fails to act and really doesn't disclose and come forward to the United States and to the world and say, what is this? We as American citizens have the right to know. What are these balloons? What is their surveillance? And you can't tell me, with the billions of dollars we've spent on this type of technology, that we don't know what's going on with these balloons. I think they may be embarrassed. And honestly, that's why we're not hearing directly from the president, or they're cooking up some kind of response to try to meet the criticism that he's receiving, really from both sides in many ways.
Yeah, it is really interesting, the timing of these balloons coming down. We had the first one that a lot of criticism for, and then you've got 3 more coming within days. So it is interesting. So your state, along with many others, are looking to ban TikTok from government devices and beyond. Is this the right move to make sure that we protect further against cybersecurity threats?
Well, look, we have been calling for banning TikTok for a long time. President Trump called for it in his administration, and we've said that this should be done. There was a small move in the federal side where federal employees are no longer able to download TikTok on their government phones. But TikTok is a Chinese Communist Party surveillance device that's being used to surveil. Why bother with a spy balloon when you've got TikTok? This is basically, internal. And every time you click on or open this app, the Chinese are spying on us. And this is not anything new. We're all just finally coming to light on what's happening with the Chinese Communist Party. I wrote an article back in 2016. This is a long time ago. Talking about how much the Chinese are stealing from us in intellectual property. At the time, it was near $400 billion a year. It's over $600 billion a year from the unique, individual, the intellectual property of American companies, the ingenuity, the innovation. Those things have been stolen from us. And we continue to reward companies and people who allow the Chinese Communist Party to infiltrate our communities, whether it's through Confucius Institutes in colleges, buying up land around the country. We've got to start recognizing our greatest adversary is also an enemy. And I think bringing everyone's attention to this spy balloon makes people realize, wow, we've had a problem for a long time, and we need to pay attention to this. Because I have another thought on this balloon. I don't know how much surveillance has been coming from the 4 balloons, but the big spy balloon and the other 4 that we don't know what they are. They're Area 51. I'm kidding halfway, but why are these things not being disclosed? These 4 balloons. But I'm concerned that some of these may be a decoy, and that the Chinese are continuing to use their Belt and Road Initiative to do other things around the world, whether it's to leverage their strength in other countries and to really move in around the country in all of our different vulnerable areas.
Yeah, there is a lot of questions about that. But I do want to get to one more thing before we let you go, and that's the ongoing dispute between DirecTV and Newsmax. AT&T stock has lost nearly $10 billion in value after Newsmax was dropped. Do you think this is going to get the ball rolling?
Well, you'd certainly think in a market economy that we supposedly have or should have or continue to embrace, that the dollar sign should make DirecTV and AT&T realize that Newsmax is valuable, and we need to continue to provide a diverse amount of voices in one platform. That's my biggest concern about this whole Newsmax dispute, is that they said, oh, well, we created a conservative site somewhere else. We have to have all ideas in places that are readily available to the American people. There's a special privileges given under the First Amendment to media for exposing and talking about our government. We need all those viewpoints recognized. And that's one thing. Newsmax has a recognized viewpoint, as do others. And the American people are entitled to and need to see that under our First Amendment. And that's why I think this is really a First Amendment issue with Newsmax. And then not to mention the fact that look at the money they're losing by not having Newsmax on their platform.
Yeah, I think it's exactly right. And we're getting all kinds of calls about it as well. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Appreciate your time here. I'll send it over to Alex.